Hi, it's Ileana at Awakening Cosmic Reality Show. And today we have Patricia Monna with us. She is a psychic and a remote viewer. And today we're going to be remote viewing the Schumann resonance and what's going on with it. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, thank you so much for having me again.
Wonderful to have you back on the show. How are you?
I've been good, really, really busy, as I'm sure everyone, is around this time, but really good. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm good. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of interesting projects, and the Schumann one is something happened cosmologically that came up because the frequencies are high. So I wanted to get your input with the remote viewing, what you're seeing, what's going on with it.
Yeah, so I think it was around June 16th to the 20th. You saw some really weird patterns coming through on the Schumann resonance where it actually looked like sacred geometry and DNA. It really did if you looked at the chart, and that normally does not happen. As you know, it's just a series of blasts that come in against a blue background with a little bit of green. Um, and I noticed that when that pattern started to take place, the Schumann resonance was absolutely on the rise. The power went up to 185. And normally, what I've noticed is with the Schumann resonance, think of it as Mother Nature's energy or heartbeat. And when it accelerates, it's like it's working harder, right? And so the energy is the energy is working at a higher rate. There's more blast tension. Tension is a better word for it. And because we are literally walking on Mother Earth's skin, of course, we're going to feel it. We're a part of her, you know. And so what I did was I actually put up a picture of that because I check the Schumann resonance every morning. I have an app. And when I have my coffee, that's what I check. See what's the energy of the day going to be like? And when I saw that, I put it up on my Facebook and I said, heads up, guys, something's up, something's up. Um, some sort of incoming energy. What have you been feeling? And the whole general consensus was exhaustion. I feel fried. I'm not sleeping properly. I'm a nervous wreck. I'm cloudy, foggy brained. And I gotta say, me feeling that energy, it definitely felt thick. It felt staticky. And I actually felt that energy coming in around June 12th. And I have a monthly psychic and astrological check-in that I do with my girlfriend Susan Reynolds on my YouTube channel. And we talked about, I asked her, was there any sort of planetary, weird thing? Because I don't know astrology. I just know as a remote viewer what I see, right? So I asked her, is there some planetary weirdness happening? She said yes. On June 12th, there was a bunch of different planets coming in and other ones going out. And she's like, that's where this energy is coming from. And it's interesting, that it does show up in the planets. It shows up in the people around us, in the energy, on how people are even acting out there. If you notice, it's one thing after the next in the news. This world literally is on fire with so much drama, and so much anger and hatred and resentment. And it just feels like all of the dark night of the soul stuff is rising to the surface. But here's the thing, it's to be addressed. It's so that we can actually see, what's going on. So that energy that was incoming, a few days later, of course, they say, oh, it was a glitch. It was just a glitch. Maybe it was. But the weirdest thing is, why did everyone feel it? What was that all about? Because for anyone who isn't even that sensitive, look back and just see what the last week of June or the last 2 weeks of June was like for you. What did you feel like? Because when the temperature rises and the energy shifts, we will feel it within us. We will wake up feeling like something has shifted, and I know that I've also heard the theory that there's been timeline shifts since then. And I gotta say, it has been one crazy ride over these last 3 years, where I think that the more people that are delving into their spirituality, we open this up on on a bigger scale, on a collective scale, when we all start going within, and when we all start looking at, our own darkness. It rises to the surface, whether it's a bad mood, being cranky, showing up to work just grumbly, you feel it, right? Um, so I think that there's a lot of purging energy that's also happening, in people's lives right now. But moving forward, it feels to me like Mother Earth is, her heartbeat is accelerating. And I think that these fires that we're seeing, and I think that we're going to see more volcanic eruptions as well, because I can feel that mounting energy rising to the surface. And so we just got to sit back and, you know, see what this does on an individual scale as well as a collective scale.
Exactly. I didn't feel anything. I've just been feeling energized. I've been working creatively. I felt a lot of creativity coming in, like so many projects. This. It's like, oh my God, I feel like time is speeding up. Like,
It
you're
is.
in time. It's almost like going to hyper warp drive. If you think Star Trek, the ship going, whoosh, and you come out on the other reality, and all your projects are completed. There's something more coming in. I'm like, which project do I need to do? Like, what's the most important thing? So I felt like time was literally running quickly and jumping. And I'm like, what's this? I have a mathematical vectoring software that I created several years ago to see what's happening cosmologically and to see if there's hidden patterns or messages in sacred geometry images. So I took from June 18th, when those June 6th, yeah,
Yeah.
18th, 19th, when those strange DNA things were popping up, right? I took that and I took all the way to July the 2nd. I started vectoring the Schumann resonance measurements. I take a screenshot of it, I'd resize it so it's bigger, and the software would show me that there's a universal upgrade happening, that there's a universal shift happening. And it kept showing me hearts, and it kept showing me portals and 5 pattern star geometry.
Wow, wow. Yeah, and I agree. I totally agree with you. First off, that time is speeding up. It blew me away that you said that, because I just before this interview, I just did another interview with a book author called named Patricia Corey. She wrote Hacking the God Code. Excellent book. I have it here because I just did the interview. And she said the same thing, that the messages have been that time is speeding up, and that really there is no such thing as time. It's all how we perceive this now moment, so I think maybe the illusion of time is what's ceasing, to exist.
Mm-hmm. And the crystalline codes are coming online, and the diamond codes in the sun are getting upgraded. That's the other thing I kind of intuitively felt about this. And I've been seeing the pillars of light because there's been white light in the Schumann measurement.
Yeah.
And on one of those days, I grabbed that. It's like a white star, 5 star pattern showed up.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely believe that we're being bombarded with light codes, and it's interesting that you said diamond codes, because I just led a meditation last Wednesday where I was being instructed to have them activate diamond codes and bring that in through the crown chakra into every cell of their body and have it, refracted out of their pores. So it's interesting that you said that, and what that would have been, what are we? Oh, we're in like the beginning of July. So that would have been, I think, the 25th of June that I did that meditation. So it's interesting, that we're getting the same messages, that it's coming in and that we're seeing it that way.
Yeah, because there's like light pillars that are increasing on every planet because of, I think, what your friend described, the alignments of the planets. It increased the light pillars.
Interesting. Yeah, see, I really know nothing about astrology. I find it fascinating. She did a reading for me just the other day. I'd never get readings, and so she offered me one for my birthday. I was blown away with her accuracy. And she does something called karmic astrology. I had never heard of that before, but it's interesting how, when planets align, how the energy shifts.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah, and I intuitively got that we get universal upgrades every 26,000 years and every couple of million years. So this coincides with the 777 portal activation that's coming up.
Very cool because I will be in, oh no, that's the day before. That's the day before I leave. Okay, I'm still here. I will make sure that I'm meditating on the 777 portal for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, because that's the rare portal with soul alignment and galactic alignment and everything in vibration aligning like beautifully through the light fields and the DNA.
Wow. Yeah, I think humanity is ready for it, waiting and ready for it. So anybody watching this, make sure that you're meditating. What is that? Friday, right? Friday is the 7th, I believe.
But something I don't often even check the calendar that much. Today's the 3rd, so Wednesday would be the 5th. Yeah, so it's Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So make sure that you're meditating on that day. That's
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah, and it's like a rare alignment with that portal energy and the 7 7 the 7. So it's three sevens.
And I also saw that ley lines are being activated, which is interesting because I'm heading out to Ireland and then to England, and doing a lot of meditating and activating ley lines and stuff. And that was just what Spirit told me to do while I'm there. And I know that there's been a lot of talks about the ley lines, manifesting uh, a very, very high light that's coming in right now. So I think it's important to do good work as well.
Oh, definitely. And cleaning up of the waters, because I saw when you were in Mexico that you were cleaning the waters. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there was actually a group of us that were all kind of around the world. We had people in Australia, Canada. I was in Mexico. Someone else was in Hawaii. And all at the same time, we were doing a prayer, standing in the ocean and activating. So
And it's a very special place where you were, Playa del Carmen, I believe, right?
that's exactly where I was.
I was actually remote viewing it at the time because I was doing a project, because there's portals opening up between Costa Rica and Playa del Carmen. So I was looking at what's going on in the portals.
Wow. That's very, very, very interesting. See, and I just go where I'm guided to do it. So that's wonderful to hear. And I actually just led a retreat in Bragg Creek here up in Canada. And there was two ladies that after the retreat, they took one of my little prayer cards and they and they went up to Lake Louise, which is Archangel Michael's portal over the lake. It's just stunning. And in the pouring rain, God love them. So, and it was cold. I remember that day. They literally got into the lake and said the prayer out loud and recorded it for me. And I just think that that is such amazing work, you know. That and important that people are doing. We need to give back to Mother Earth. We really do.
Yeah, and how did you do the cleansing of the waters? Because it was interesting. You were talking about how to connect to the water.
Yeah, so what I was shown, if I remember correctly, because when you're in it, you're just shown what to do and you do it. But before I got in, I spent the morning praying. And then at that time, I visualized myself. So my prayer was that every cell in my body radiate with that highest healing light, giving that ocean exactly what it needs in that moment, to use my body as the vessel. Because every morning, even before I start my day, I will put my hands up and just say, Lord, use me as an instrument of your peace. Here I am. Use me. I'm checking in for work. And then I just go. And even in my readings, I just say what I'm guided to. And so in that moment when I got in the water, I was in that state of prayer, and in that and then just exuding that energy out of every pore of my body into the waters and sending it all across the continent and all the way around. And so, and that's, I believe, what everybody else was doing at the same time as well.
Beautiful. And you also recently went to the Grand Canyon. What was that about?
I did. So I believe in making a bucket list and living it, because you know what? We spend our lives, working for people and companies that, if something ever happened to us, we'd be replaced in 5 seconds, and we look at how much of our life we spend working, and so I made a bucket list during the pandemic that as soon as this was over, I'm going traveling. And so what I did was, with all of my boys, I wanted to take them on a mom and son trip, just the two of us, right? And because having three boys, it's very rare that they would get me one-on-one. And so my oldest son, when he turned 21, I took him to Las Vegas. Wasn't super spiritual, but it was a lot of fun, a lot of shows. And then, so my middle one, he actually turned 21 during the pandemic, so I didn't get a chance to take him anywhere. And he's very spiritual and very connected. Actually, all three of my boys are very, very psychic and spiritually connected. But I thought, you know what? Let me take him and activate him in Sedona, because there's so many amazing vortexes, pockets of beautiful energy that give you clarity, that give you peace, that give you healing. The minute you sit and you meditate in that area. And so Joey and I landed in Phoenix, and then we rented a car and we drove to Sedona, the Grand Canyon. We went to Antelope Canyon. If you're ever in the area, you have to see that. We even got matching tattoos. There we go. And so, yeah, we had an excellent time. And it was amazing to be able to do that with him.
Because I
So,
saw you walking through the meditation routes in the canyon.
yeah, so I'm actually doing another retreat in March of next year and May of next year, where I take a group of people to Sedona and take them to meditate in the vortexes and take them to all the sacred sites. We even go shopping. People even get a drum. I have a beautiful connection with one of the tribes that's just outside of Sedona, and so they hand make these drums for me, and then we get to spend an afternoon painting them and then activating them, under the moon and around the fire, and do a lot of really cool things. So that's listed on my website if anybody's interested in coming to Sedona with me next year.
Beautiful. I recently had something source creator said people need to work more with the Vogel crystals. Uh, do you get any messages? What's that all about, and why Vogel crystals? Why the golden fee ratio is so important?
Well, I think it's the energy that comes through it for sure, because the way those are cut, it is to amplify that highest light, right? And so I think that even when it comes to the intentions, we'll say you're healing someone with it, it's going to amplify. It's an amplifier, so it's going to amplify that healing energy all around that person and through them. So it's a power tool. It's very, very much a power tool. And yeah, it'll strengthen your broadcast. That's why.
Yeah, it's like a laser, right? And it has the mother aspect and the father aspect on one side or the other. And it can come in different facets. It goes up to 144 facets. So it's like, and you do the breath work, the light work, and the focusing, and it just takes out the energy that's not of the highest energetic frequency and gives you the positive healing energy.
Wow. I do have a Vogel crystal. I think I don't know where it is. Maybe it's at home, but I do have one. And yeah, it's very, very powerful to use in healing.
And I was guided to find Marcel Vogel's because he's the original light master of the Vogel crystals. He created them. He had a laboratory because he worked for IBM. And then he's like, enough of that. I want something spiritual. I want something that's healing. So he developed these beautiful cut crystals, like from clear quartz, and it's the purest quartz. So it's like, and it refracts beautifully, but the healing is the purest because it doesn't have any imperfections in it.
That's amazing. Okay, I don't have one of his Vogels. I think mine, I purchased from a store here in Calgary, but yeah, I've heard that the original Vogels are, wow, extremely powerful. Do you have one?
No, not yet, but I just found the original teachings actually, like the way he taught how to do the healing. Because people look everywhere, like, where can I find information how to heal with it? Some people just intuitively do it, but he had a manual. So I'm putting, somebody was gracious enough to have it on the Seattle Center. And they do a lot of Ayurvedic things and healings with crystals. So they republished it for free. It gives you step by step how to work with it, his original teachings.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and because people ask me, can you teach me how to do vocal healing? And I'm like, I know how to do it, like I intuitively know, but I want to follow his, because he was a light master, so I want to follow the original material and be respectful of it.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense. Well, when you get one, let me know how it goes.
Well, I've tried double terminated crystals, different types with the same technique, and it works. It's just the Vogel is a powerful, like a laser, like a natural laser light. It just focuses the beam of energy of healing. So it's the most powerful one. But other crystals work the same. Like you just have to find the one that vibrates with you.
Yes, 100%. And
So,
program it too for what you want it to do, right?
yes, and his manual teaches you how to program the crystals, how to heal with it, and how to connect with the person's biofield. So it's like different from everything that what I've ever found. And I was aware of this manual for 6 years, and I was like, I used it once or twice, and then I forgot about it. I'm like, this is like Master Advanced Teaching. It's like, where is it? And then my higher self, Erlana, just said, oh, it's the Seattle Center. You should go back there and download it and just make it available for everybody, like, or point it to the website link so people, because it's online, so people can go and work with it. Because like I've had 5 people asking me, can you teach me how to heal with Vogels? I'm like, I know how, but I want the master teacher, Marcel Vogel, the original, to pay respect and do it as he taught. So I think people could really learn from that.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
And I'll include it in the link for this video
Yeah,
so people can find it.
I was just thinking that.
That way it's like everybody can use it and it's free. It's like Seattle Center has a lot of good resources.
Wow, yeah, definitely put up the link because I don't think I've ever heard of that, like the resource place. So
Mhm.
I'll look into it as well.
Yeah, they were generous. They scanned in his original website material where he was doing the teachings
Nice.
from the 1990s, and they've included it. And they have other crystal stuff, another how to do breath work, how to do biofield healing. They have several books scanned in, so there might be other resources for people to explore. Um, are you teaching anything, or what are your projects that you're doing?
Well, right now, well, on Saturday, I'm off to Ireland for 2 weeks, and then I'm spending 10 days exploring England and the ley lines out there. And I'm going to go to Stonehenge and Avebury, and I'll do a lot of lives on my YouTube channel, or I'll try to at least. Hopefully, there's reception. And then in the fall, I'm teaching level 2 remote viewing the matrix, or quantum psychic remote viewing the matrix, it's called. So yeah, if anyone's interested on that, just go to my website, patriciamona.com. But yeah, I'm gonna try and take it easy a little bit this summer. I was really insanely busy over the past year, and so it'll be nice to kind of lay low but do research and explore and go to some really cool sacred places this summer. I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, I'm also doing a lot of research, a lot of healing. I just wanted to really see the healing modality of the Vogel, the read it, and it really vibrates at a high level. Like it's pure light master material. So it's like just so excited to share that with you.
Aw, that's awesome. Well, yeah, let me know when you get one. I totally want to hear the feedback on it because I have heard wonderful, wonderful things about it. And like I said, I've got one, but I don't believe it's straight from cut from the Vogel Master. I think it's just one that I picked up along my journeys.
And as long as it works, like, and you feel the energy, like I believe if you try the Vogel teaching itself, how he taught it, whatever Vogel you have, is the intent that's important and focusing the energy how he taught it. And I think I would probably also get a Vogel because they cost like 1,000 something.
Yeah, that's quite a bit for, yeah.
Yeah. I think something, I've heard that it has to be pure Himalayan quartz with at least 13 sides.
Oh, yeah, see, I don't know much about it, but that's interesting.
Well, I was looking up to see like what's on offer, right? And the ones that because there's certain dealers that are pure Vogel cut, like they're authorized
Okay.
because the guy's trained with him. And
Yeah.
there's other cutters who, like what you got and what I might get. It's like not everybody can afford $1,000 from their original stuff. As long as it's pure Himalayan quartz, 13 sided or more, should be at least 4 to 5 inches. It's
Wow.
like it focuses the energy well that way. From what I understand from all that research that I did yesterday and today and reread his manual, it's quite powerful, and it's the intention and learning to heal with a Vogel that's more important, I think. So try it out. You have one. Like I'll send you the link to it. See
Yeah,
if
that'd be wonderful.
how it works for you. Anything else exciting going on with you? Any projects, anything that you have been figuring out, going through, experiencing?
Um, not, I'm just getting ready for my trip, honestly. The energy observations that I've made, is that like what you said, it almost feels like we're losing a sense of time or it's speeding up. It definitely, I've noticed that. I've noticed that people feel a little bit more frantic, even though it's summer and it's beautiful outside. So for anyone who's having an issue grounding that energy out of you, go find a tree and hug it. Take your shoes off. Get out in nature and literally release it that way. You will feel 1,000 times better because what's happening out there, it is energy. It's energy manipulation. It's beyond what we can see. So it's learning to be able to breathe through it and stay in a state of grace and center. So now what about you? What have you been up to for the summer?
I've been doing a lot of research where I want to go have fun in the parks, where I want to be out in nature, landscaping my own gardens here at home and the trees, pruning the trees responsibly. That's something I was researching and working with an arborist. Yeah, because I have 100-foot trees.
Wow. Can you imagine the energy coming off of those, right?
Yes, and they're bushy. They were very bushy. They're still bushy, but we had to make sure they're not crossing the roof line of the house. So it's like, and he did a beautiful job with his crew. When you're looking for arborists, respecting nature is so important.
I totally, totally agree with you.
So they figured out how to balance it without hurting the trees, like to trim them responsibly and sustainably. So the trees still look wonderful and the roof line is not being impacted. So respecting nature, creating beautiful landscaping, gardening, healing the plants. I've been sending a lot of healing for the plants because I noticed there was acid in the rain and
Oh,
clearing the acid out of the water in the rain and healing the plants because all about healing nature, just this pattern of healing it and just helping people because people want to work with crystals so much. So just giving people advice on crystals and healing. And I guess at some point I might teach the Vogel stuff now that I found his manual again.
that would be
So
amazing.
yeah, I think I'll have private like private courses on how to teach it according to the manual, or people can try it themselves, whatever feels good for them.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, totally. And yeah, I agree with you. We definitely need to be healing Mother Earth for sure. Um, because yeah, there's something going on. And I think that this is the time where light workers need to, step up and do what we can, And how do you know what to do? Well, ask, and ye shall receive. Literally, in this moment, what is for my highest good? What is the greatest outcome for all involved? And it'll drop in. It's getting easier and clearer to be able to hear our messages, especially when we're out in nature, and clear of the frequencies and fog of 5G and the radiation and all of that stuff. So yeah, definitely a good time to get out into the mountains. Or whereabouts are you?
I'm in Ocean Park, South Surrey, White Rock area, right near beside Crescent Beach.
Okay, okay. I have no idea where that is. Did you get any of so you're in the States?
No, I'm in British Columbia, Canada.
Oh gosh. Okay, I had no idea where that was. I've never heard of that in BC.
Well,
But did you get a lot of the smoke, the wildfire smoke?
no. Because I'm like 3 hours away from Vancouver. Then you
Oh,
have South Surrey, White Rock. It's like a resort, little resort area right by the beach. We smelt it a little bit, but we didn't get the wildfires. Thankfully, you guys in Quebec got it, unfortunately.
yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say, um, you know, because you said there was a lot of acid in the rain,
Yes.
that people that I've spoken to, because that was actually when I was in Sedona, so I missed it, thank God. It was rolling in the day we left. But a lot of people said that it smelled like burning plastic. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, you know.
Yeah, I just seen usually like huge, we have 100 foot tall trees. The other neighbors have them as well. And I'm seeing some yellowing in lush green trees. I'm like, what is this about? And some of my bushes beside my house were turning yellow. I'm like, what is this? So I asked Spirit, can you show me what's causing this? And the answer was it's acid literally in the rain, in the water,
Oh,
and the particulates in the ionosphere. And I'm like, how do we clean that up? And I was told just purify the air and the water, just purify it with energy healing, and say, I remove the acid from the trees, from the ionosphere, from the soil. Like literally say what you're removing and purifying.
nice. Nice. Yeah, that's an excellent, excellent idea. Because, yeah, I just think that there's going to be more really weird, destructive weather. But like I said, I do believe that there's weather manipulation that's happening right now, um, for agendas that probably shouldn't be talked about on YouTube. Um, but yeah, I think that we're going to see some really weird weather over these next couple of years. Because here's the thing, it suits the narrative of climate
Mhm.
change, right? Oh, see, told you so, told you so, told you so. But weather manipulation has been since the 1960s. They've been seeding clouds forever. And
Mhm.
it's not a conspiracy theory. Like, watch it happen. Doesn't take a psychic to see where this narrative is going.
Yeah, the fires every year in Canada, California, the hurricanes in Florida every couple of years.
We just had a huge tornado rip through Carstairs yesterday or the day before. No, yeah, Saturday. Saturday it ripped through, like just destroying properties, homes, everything. Huge tornado. And we don't usually get destructive weather like that or severe weather like that.
Power of meditation and prayer, because you can move these things away and shift them, shift the weather, shift the time change or timeline. It's like the planet is going through a lot of changes. Some of it is natural, and a lot of it is not natural. It's like, why Canada? Why are we having fires every year? And why is nobody putting the fires out on time? It's like, I think they do have the resources to do it, but they want to see what's happening. Why?
Well, I know that the one that started here was actually set by a group of female firefighters that were learning about controlled burns, and the burn got out of control, like really bad out of control, where, God, so much of the province burnt because of that. But yet you go down east and they're saying that it's climate change, climate change. No, it wasn't. It was this group of firefighters that unfortunately their controlled burn got out of control. So it's just, I personally think it's to fit a narrative as well.
And also arson. It's like in the summer, don't light up the matches where stuff can burn or the fire pits. It's like it's too hot. Don't start going doing a don't go start warming a fire up, because honestly it could get out of hand. Like young people like to go out camping. Just be smart.
Yeah.
Carry your own cooker with you to cook your food. No need to go out starting a fire pit when it's July or August.
Well, they got fire bans in
Yeah.
the areas, that are like tinders. So yeah, we got fire bans. I don't believe that there's any fire bans right now, but people are usually really good up in Canada when there is
Yeah.
a ban.
Well, and even like if it's too hot, just don't light it up so it doesn't get out of control. Like respect. Look at the weather. Look what's happening, because sometimes people have fire pits in their backyards. So
Mhm.
it's like awareness. When it's too hot, just don't burn it.
I
Um,
absolutely,
Common
yeah.
sense. It's I have friends with fire pits and they're like, well, we don't use the natural bricks. They have specific bricks that are controllable, how you burn it. So they're all responsible. And I'm like, that's great. It's respecting nature.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm. Any other beautiful messages, news to share?
I hope that everybody has an amazing summer and gets out there and starts living their bucket list. You guys, tomorrow is never, ever promised. It's never promised. So I just think that there's no better time than to live your life to the fullest than now, and to start creating the life that we want to see manifest. The one thing that Spirit did show me was that the choices that we're making this summer are kind of like seeds for what's going to be happening over the next 7 years. So choose wisely, go within, go into your knowing, don't go into your thinking. Know what you're supposed to do next. Um, and you'll be living your greatest life. I think it's a lot easier right now than ever before to live our greatest life. We just need to, get rid out of the confusion and pull ourselves out of that dark night of the soul so that we can see the light. And there is a reason. Everything is connected. Everything is connected, and nothing could be any different. Or else we wouldn't be living this reality right now. And that's the one we signed up for. So.
Yeah, I was shown something similar in the five path star codes that came through the Schumann resonance. The choices we make now will make the greatest impact in until 2030s.
Yes, 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 yes. I 100% agree.
And the message was make your choices wisely because things will reflect throughout the next several years. So I got a similar message as well.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and see, when you know, right?
Mhm. And it's great to talk to somebody who's so connected to the earth as above, so below, to spirit. And you have the kindest messages and you have a very loving heart, which I always appreciate hearing and sharing.
Thank you. And thank you so much for reaching out to me and having me on your channel. This has been awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if you ever want me to remote view anything else again, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, blessed, safe, happy trip.
Thank you. Thank you. And have an amazing, amazing summer. And if anybody is interested in my classes, it's just www.patriciamona.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Patricia, and thank you for coming on the show again.
Thank you. God bless, my dear. Take care.
Bye.